Hi, my name's Sarah, and I am bringing everyone along with me this summer as I go on a search for something. But first, I wanted to share a little bit about my story to let you all know how I got here. This story starts in Durango, Colorado, which is down in the southwest corner of the state. I've lived there on and off for about a decade and loved my life, but I was feeling a call to something different. And when I landed my dream opportunity as a scientist with the federal government in Bend, Oregon, I decided to move my life out there. And it was really great for about 2 weeks. Winnie and I got to explore some beautiful places, and we soon learned that not all dreams are meant to be. Um, I started my job with the federal government January 2025, and I did my first 2 weeks remote as I was moving across the country, and I got to Bend, Oregon on February 7th. I was terminated in a letter that was a cut copy that several people on my team received, and thousands of people across the nation received similar letters stating that I was terminated due to performance issues. For 2 weeks after that, I had the notion that I was just fired and there was nothing I could do about it. So I applied for unemployment for the first time, started applying for jobs, but really was grieving that loss of this idea that I had for myself, this idea of a career and something that I had built attachment to. And then the chaos just continued. So after that, there were a series of court cases that got probationary employees like myself who were terminated reinstated, and then back into the office. So I did end up going back into the office for about a week in early April when I ultimately decided to take a buyout. I had concerns about the longevity of my position and my job security in it coming back, knowing that there were massive layoffs planned in several government agencies, and I opted to leave the chaos behind, leave that dream behind, and move into something new. And what that is, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to spend this summer doing some exploration to figure out what that might be. When I originally got terminated from my job with the USDA, I found some free wood and I built this camper in the back of my truck and was super stoked to use it. However, not too long after that, I found out my head gasket had a catastrophic failure and built this thing and couldn't freaking use it. So now I've got my car back and I've got some big plans on the horizon, and I'm going to finish this thing today. I, in fact, did not finish it that day, but I finished it because that big plan that I was talking about is me moving into my truck for this summer. And Winnie and I are going to go explore some of the beautiful wild places of North America. I had to make sure everything I needed fit in my truck and that it was comfortable enough for us to be able to cruise around happily until the end of September. I finally got my bed loaded up in here and it's looking pretty good. So for about from February to now, I had lived happily in this little apartment in Bend, and today's move out day, and it's kind of sad to see everything go away into boxes and off to other places, but it's also freeing. So on May 18th, my time in Bend came to an end, and Winnie and I hit the road and started making our way out east, which is crazy to say because I've always lived out west, but I guess Oregon's the furthest west I've been. Okay, Winnie and I made it to our first destination, which is Salt Lake City, and I'll be leaving my home in the care of a trusted friend, and next stop is Desolation Canyon. Well, I made that sound easier than it actually is because I forgot to mention I'm leaving my home in Salt Lake City, and then I'm leaving Winnie with her auntie in Park City. So we're waiting here for our friend to come pick us up and take us to our second destination, Park City. What are you going to do next? It's the question I've been asked over and over again, and something I've been asking myself too. And honestly, I don't solidly know what I'm going to do next. But I do know that when things change, there are options on the table, and every seemingly bad situation has a silver lining. So while I don't exactly know, I'm going to stay open and figure out what feels good for me this summer.